Hey guys, it's Craig here. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a review of the PAW Pro Power Assist Wheelbarrow. First off, here's the wheelbarrow. Now I have no relation with PAW. I bought this with my own money. I need it for our home. We have a bit of a slope for all of our grass and all of the yard. And frankly, I'm getting too old to push things up the hill. So I needed something that can make this a little bit easier for me. So I paid full price for this sucker. Didn't get any sort of kickbacks, any sort of discount, nothing, right? So I bought it from Menards back east. I had to pay full price for the unit as well as full price to have it shipped here, which was $150 just for shipping. All in all, I'm about $700 in, maybe a little bit more than that. Sounds about right. I got it on sale from Menards, so kind of worked out a little bit that way. I am going to replace these tires with more of an off-road version because I do have a lot of slope and grass, and I'm in the Pacific Northwest where it gets a little muddy. This is also the Pro version and not the standard version, so it's a little bit thicker metal. It's also all square tubing. As you can kind of see, it's more square tubing and not the circular tubing. I got it because, well, frankly, I plan to use it, and I didn't want to, kind of mess it up too bad. Now, my experience with this. So, first off, it actually works. A little surprising, to be honest. I've kind of done a couple stupid purchases lately between this and a robotic lawnmower, and they're all turned out pretty good. It works. It works actually pretty well. I'll attach a video to this. My daughter, who is 11, grabbed it and ran me all the way up our hill with no issue at all. So I sat in it, she pushed me. You'll see the video here. Just the wheelbarrow. Watch. Wheelbarrowing me up the hill. Just so everybody's clear, that's how steep the hill is. That's how strong she is. Are you super strong?
Yeah, I'm buff.
You're super buff. So, it's kind of cool. It's cool that it doesn't take a lot of power to push. It really doesn't take anything other than the ability to lift it up. So if your load is in the center, that's basically the amount of energy it takes to handle it. Now, with that said, a couple little points that were a little bit sketchy. Luckily, I was handy enough to kind of take care of it. First off, there were a couple holes in the frame that needed to be clearanced. All right, specifically on the frame, where the frame attaches to the axle, you'll see that there's 4 bolts. I think it's a little bit different on the non-Pro version, but these are threaded bolts on the Pro version, threaded nuts that are welded into the axle stands or the axle mount. They did not line up at all with the holes. So I don't know if it's just a quality control issue or what. I had to grind some clearance in those slots just to be able to fit the bolts in their extremes on the outside. Now, non-issue for me, I have a Dremel, connect it via the Dremel, and it connected a grindstone, and it all seemed to work all right. So really up to you. Your mileage may vary. I don't know if the non-Pro version has similar issues, but my unit came that way. It wasn't enough for me to want to send it back, but it's just something to be aware. Also on mine, at least one of the wheel nuts was somewhat loose. That's fine. It wasn't that big a deal to tighten it, but I did notice some slippage when I was first starting to try to use it, and I wasn't sure if it was in the gearbox or what. Turns out that's all it was, so it wasn't a big deal. Second thing, or fourth thing, whatever I'm on now, I added a lot more zip ties just to clean up the cables. So they gave you some zip ties. The cables all kind of route underneath the frame, as you can see, just so they're out of the way. I used a few extras, but really that's the extent of my modifications. So beyond that, and beyond the fact that it is insanely expensive to ship, it is, based off my research, the cheapest quality electric wheelbarrow I could find. I'd already decided I need an electric wheelbarrow. Because I have a robotic mower, I don't have a ride-on mower, so I can't pull a trailer. So in my case, this fit me perfectly. And once again, your mileage may vary. But I did want to give a bit of an honest review of this for all of you. I noticed when I was out there, I couldn't find any real unpaid reviews of these, or any that didn't seem like maybe the product was given to them for free. Just like I also couldn't find too many reviews on the Pro version. I found a lot more reviews on the non-Pro version. Other than that, the thing charged up. It's been running perfect. I haven't, as you can see, had to use it too much for yard waste yet and yard stuff. We just basically ferried the family around the property. As you saw. As I was editing this video, there are just a couple things I wanted to clarify, so I wanted to chime in here. First, the tires. So I did mention I wanted to get some off-road tires. PAW does sell off-road wheel set. So it's a wheel and tire that's more of a thicker knobby for off-road use. They also sell an airless tire or a full solid tire. It's about $40 to $50 a wheel through them or through one of their resellers. I plan to actually just take these wheels down to a local tire shop and have ordered some new tires that will fit. Based off my research, I could probably do it about $20 a wheel and just replace the tires. I don't need another set of wheels because I'm not going to be swapping back and forth. So it's just a cheaper way for me to get the same end result. Second, I plan to build a flat platform for this. One of the nice things about this unit, it does appear that you could just take off the bucket and attach whatever sort of platform you want to build. They actually sell a metal flat top platform specifically for it. However, I can, with some 3/4 inch plywood, make the same type of platform based off my needs. That'll work just fine for a lot cheaper. And so if I got larger lumber or things like that, things that are not going to necessarily fit in the bucket, I can use that flat top to work through it. The last thing I did want to mention, which was a bit more of an annoyance than anything else, all the instructions they sent me were specific to the non-Pro unit. And there are some differences. I did notice it may just be older material they have, but the wiring and the way the box is wired is different. You don't really have to wire the box, so it wasn't that big a deal. Really kind of where the bolts go or where some of the wire gets zip tied, you just kind of got to use a little bit of your own brain to make that work. So not a huge deal, and if you're a little bit handy, it's not going to overly confuse you. Like I said, the biggest issue is really having to clearance those holes, and that may just have been a quality control issue with my unit. But all in all, it's worked out pretty well for me. And it's up to you if it works for you.